Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Walton, graduate of Year Up Greater Boston, and I was the first alum to join Year Up's National Board of Directors, serving for nearly 15 years now, and I currently am the vice chairman. It's an absolute honor to be here to celebrate a remarkable milestone of Year Up United, 25 years. In honor of Year Up United's 25th anniversary, we're taking a moment to reflect on the journey of Year Up United and where we're headed next. We'll do that through the voices of people who've helped scale this movement, who've been directly and positively impacted by it. Introducing first our current CEO and president, Ellen McLean, as well as our founder and senior advisor, Jared Tertavian, from our original first class of 22 students, Kai Tan, and a recent graduate of Europe United, Micah Boyd. Starting us off, would love to hear from you, Gerald. Let's go back to the beginning in 2000 and even before. What inspired you to start Europe United?
Thanks, Greg. What inspired me to start Europe United was really the experiences that I had through the Big Brothers program. And when I lived in New York City back in the 80s, the boy who I was very fortunately matched with, I was able to spend all of my Saturdays with him for 3 years. And he happened to live in what was then the most heavily photographed crime scene in New York City. And I saw over those Saturdays and over those years that my little brother, David, was so talented, had all the ambition, all the just the traits, the hustle. He wanted to get ahead, as did his brothers. And unfortunately, it was clear to me that there were all these things getting in the way that weren't his fault. So whether it was the zip code he lived in, the bank balance of his mom, the color of his skin, the school system he attended, there were things that were limiting David's potential. And it just struck me as a huge waste of human capital at a time when our country has no one to waste. And so it was then back in the late 80s that I vowed that if I was fortunate enough to be in a position to start an organization, that I would start it specifically with the goal of empowering young adults to reach their full potential. And that ultimately became Year Up United. And I'm so glad that I still am in touch with David today. In fact, we texted each other just over the weekend. And it's been great to see him grow up over the past 35 years.
Wow, that's inspiring, Gerald. Thank you so much for sharing. And we're blessed to have one of the first students, Kai Tan. Kai, love to hear from you. What is it like being a part of the very first class, and how did the program shape your personal and professional journey?
Hi, my name is Kai Tan. I immigrated from China in 1999. After that, I attended evening school to get my GED. Before I graduated, I found Year Up United. I remember go through a few interviews, and I didn't expect to get in initially, but really surprised and with gratitude, I got in. Year Up United is really special to me because it's really great opportunity. First of all, the staff and all the teachers are treat me like my English is really good, even though my English is not that awesome. But they found me a really great tutor and a mentor that knows what I really needed. So that really helped me to grow and also helped me to prepare a workplace norm. So Year Up United helped me imagine my future in the new country. Today, I am a classroom teacher. I use the experiences that the Year Up United helped me every day. Now that I can apply it in my daily work, I can mentoring my students and support them what they needed.
Kai, thank you for sharing. I often think about that original class of you and Wilfredo Pena and others and realize that the debt that we owe to you, that if that experience did not go well and you didn't end up being the successful person you are, that I wouldn't have had the experience I did. So thank you, Kai. Now, Ellen, you've led this organization through major growth. What stands out to you about how Europe United has evolved to meet the needs of both young adults and businesses?
I'm happy to be here. Hi, Kai. Hi, Micah, Greg, and Gerald. You know, I think about what Kai said, and I reflect a lot now that I'm CEO and have such an inspired organization to help lead and guide forward. It all still comes back to the young adults and the way that we uniquely serve young people with a high school diploma and a GED who need and deserve a path to opportunity when a four-year college degree is not the right option. It's inspiring for me to do this every day, and there are lots of young people who are very savvy technologically, who are smart and capable, who could take the path we offer and really run with it. So we at Europe United today are focused on bringing the best technology and the best training, especially as it relates to AI, to prepare young people to really contribute right off the bat to the companies that they join. Now, I know time is limited and I can go on and on about this, so I will step back and make space for the next question.
Thank you, Ellen. I couldn't agree with you more. We're excited about the future. I think it's really cool looking back 25 years, knowing we've served more than 50,000 young people and are on goals to potentially, serve hundreds and thousands more. Micah, we have a recent graduate. Can you share what Europe United has meant for you in your journey and just your transition into a thriving career at E-Trade by Morgan Stanley?
Thank you so much again. It's such an honor to be here with all of you all. And as far as what Europe United has done for me and my personal growth, but there's so many places I could start, but I'll just start from the beginning. I ended up going to college. I went for 3 years. I went for business administration, and I ended up learning a few skills, but they pale in comparison to what I learned in the program. And so you're probably wondering, like, how did you go to school, and then how did you get in the program, and policies and whatnot. But I ended up losing my scholarship by a tenth of a fraction. And that changed the whole trajectory of everything. I ended up having to withdraw from school. And it was kind of a domino effect of just a whole lot of things going on, losing housing, losing resources, losing family support. And so I just turned to what I remembered Europe to be like. Hey, this is an organization that helps empower young adults, helps career growth. And I was like, hey, if we can start there fundamentally, then I can get my life back on track. So come to enrollment, and I joined the banking and customer success track. And I just learned so much more than I anticipated I would learn. Like, I thought I was going to get a trade and get a job, but they teach you how to network, teach you how to communicate, taught me how to publicly speak, even though it was for a short duration of time. Like, I used to be a very introverted person. I didn't like talking to people, or maybe I didn't like talking to people. I just didn't know how to properly communicate, or I thought because of where I was from, that I'd have to code switch and compromise, like being myself. And that wasn't the case at all. We all have the capacity for excellence and greatness, and we just have to walk into it. And so Europe helped me to bring that out of myself. And so bringing that to today in my job with E-Trade from Morgan Stanley, I still use the skills I learned, such as the networking, public speaking, resume building, and just technical skills, the things that we learned, like computer interface. And so it's been great for my development. I'm now in stable housing, and I have a great career. I recently got my SIE certification, and I'm working on my Series 7, and I'm enjoying my career as a client relationship manager for the company. And so I'm grateful for the program and everyone that's been a contributing factor to it.
It's an incredible story, Micah. Thank you for sharing. I can relate as someone who thought I was just going to go to college, and Europe became an opportunity for me, and I'm glad it worked out the way that it did, which it sounds like is the same for you. But it's truly amazing to hear all the different perspectives. Let's now hear from each of you. What does it feel like to see and be a part of, like this full-time circle moment? Ellen, I guess we can start with you.
What comes up for me, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about technology. I was recently at a conference. It was about AI. We had these nonprofits saying, we're a tech-first nonprofit. And I thought to myself, I might be jealous of that phrasing, but the reality is, no, we're a human-first nonprofit. We're a human-first social enterprise that will bring the best that technology has to offer to help as many people as we possibly can live their dreams, just like Kai and Micah and the 50,000 young adults who have entered into Year Up United's programming.
Kai, would love to hear from you next. What do you think?
Year Up United changed my life. That's what it is. It wasn't only about gaining technical skills. To me, it was about personal growth, empowerment, and learning how to thrive in a new environment. The experiences helped me to build confidence, find my voice, and step into my career with purpose. Because I found myself that I love children. That's how I found it. But without the technology, I cannot do my job well as well. So from that very first class to now, I have seen so many opportunities that can open doors that once felt closed. I am incredibly proud to have been part of the programs from the beginning and to witness how far it has come. Even now, I am continue my education to get my doctoral degree. Year Up United helped me so much and helped me to build a great foundations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kai. That's like I said, amazing journey. Mike, I'd love to hear from you as a recent graduate on what this, kind of being connected to Europe United, means to you.
Like Kai said, it's changed my life, literally changed the whole trajectory of it. And I know not just me, but a lot of, alumni can vouch for that and say, like, listen, this program is real. Like, but this full circle moment, like that you bring up, it's twice for me. Like I had the opportunity in 2018 and it was brought back again in 2024. And now we're looking back and it's like, oh, this is longevity and this is getting results. And it just, when I reflect and I think about my journey, I just think about how there's so many people in my circumstance who have been in my shoes, or just so many people in my immediate community, like me being from Atlanta, Georgia. Like there's so many of us that have gifts, talents, capabilities, and work ethics that they just don't have the stage to even display any of that opportunity for themselves. And so me being one of the voices of the alumni, it's an honor to be able to share my testimony and to be able to have a career. But the most rewarding part is just the relationships I built along the way. The alumni, especially, we're a very tight knit group. And like I've had conversations where some of us would feel like, what's it called? They call it imposter syndrome in their careers, and they just feel incapable. And I just tell them, I'm like, listen, we're all human beings. Like Ellen said, like we're humans first. Like, that's where it starts. Professionalism, excellence, and all these things. We naturally have that instilled in all of us. It's just we need the platform to execute it, and we need to believe in ourselves. And so it's an honor to be here, and I'd like to continue, and I will continue to pay it forward.
Thank you, Micah. We often say lift as you climb, and that's what you perfectly described. And lastly, Gerald, as the founder, would love to hear from you as you look back over these 25 years. What does being connected to this movement mean to you?
Well, the first thing I say is, Micah and Kai, you said Europe changed your life, and I'd probably say, no, you changed your life, because you're talented, motivated, you've got what it takes, and all Europe United was able to do is provide a good runway for you to take off from, right? Because you had it when you came here, and it's important to always remember that you did this, right? We provided a runway, but it's your skill that lifted you there. And I think, Kai, I remember meeting you 25 years ago in that first class of 22 students. Greg, I remember meeting you when you started the program. And for me to see Micah talk about giving back, to see Greg, you facilitating this conversation, to reconnect with Kai, this is what we always imagined, right? These are spiraling upwards circles where someone does well, they help the next person, they pay it forward, they lift as they climb. So this to me is joyful to see. What I knew would happen is you give a young person a good opportunity, you love them, you hold them accountable, they will thrive, and they will touch the next person in a positive manner. And that's how we strengthen and heal our communities and create a strong economy and a strong democracy. So I'm super proud to know you as graduates of the program, and excited for Ellen as she takes the organization forward to its next chapter of growth and impact.
Thank you, Gerald. All of your reflections were great, and I know we could all, talk for days about how Year Up United has really just been an incredible program to be connected to. To wrap up our discussion, one final question, and I've saved it for you, Ellen. As you lead this organization into the future, what's your hope for Year Up United over the next 25 years?
My hope for us is that we always are mindful of what needs to change, but actually what shouldn't change. And I think what shouldn't change is our fundamental belief in the potential of young people, so much so that we will, as Gerald said, hold young adults to high expectations, but provide the high support and do this in partnership with others like community colleges and the many corporations who believe, as we do, that talent is everywhere, opportunity is not, but they are willing to help provide that opportunity. That is what I hope. And I hope we can do that for exponentially more young adults than we've served up until this point.
Thank you, Ellen. That's very inspiring. And I don't know about all of you, but I'm excited for what the next 25 years will look like. I feel like the movement is just getting started, and I'm just excited for the future and how many more young people we can touch and we can help and be connected to and helping close the opportunity divide. It's been amazing to reflect on all that Europe United has done over the last 25 years and how much, profound impact it's had. Huge thank you to Ellen, Gerald, Kai, and Micah for joining us. With that, I will say thank you all for joining us and goodbye.